Hello, everyone. So we are Group 3, and today our discussion topic will be business economics. So under this category, we are going to discuss about the market structures of the economic environment. So before that, let's get to know my team members. So hello, I'm Amanda Ekanayaka, and along with me, first I have my team leader, Ms. Nishani Disanayaka. And along with her, I have 5 other team members. They are as Bandara, Gayatri, Charuni, Rasika, and Madhushan. All right, so let's get back to our topic. When it comes to economic market structures, there are 4 main categories as per like perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. So the program or like the discussion topic of our presentation will be identifying these market categories and identifying the characteristics as well as bringing out real life examples for them and analyzing them further. So if I'm to talk about how these division or categories are divided, let's say the number of producers can be high when it comes to perfect and monopolistic competition, and few in oligopoly and monopoly, or like the degree of product differentiation or diversification, or the pricing power of producer, the barriers to send or like enter into new markets, or even the level of non-price competition such as advertising cost, etc. These things can lead these market structures to be categorized or divided into few sectors or like 4 main sectors. So in order to identify the exact characteristics or in order to identify a perfect comparison of these 4 market structures, I would like to invite Rasika. She will explain to you about the market structures, 4 main market structures and their characteristics. Over to you, Rasika.
Thank you, Amanda. Now we are going to discuss about the 4 market structures. It's a comparison. First one is perfect competition. When it's come to the barriers of entry, there are no barriers to new firm entering the market or to the leave the market. Nature of the product is standardized or homogeneous. Number of firms many, that's mean large number of buyers and sellers in market, but each firm is independent and small. Profit making possibility is low. Price marginal cost relationship is price equal marginal cost. Second one is monopoly market structure. When it's come to the barriers to entry and exit is difficult or legally impossible, only one firm in the industry and the firm in the industry. Interdependency, no competition. Size of the firm very large. Perfect profit making possibility is high. Price marginal cost relationship, price greater than marginal cost. Uh, let's move to the oligopoly market structure. Barriers to entry significant. That's mean market entry and exit difficult. Nature of the product identical or differentiated. We can see small number of large mutually independent firms. Profit making possibility high. Price marginal cost relationship. Price greater than marginal cost. Last one is monopolistic competition. Market entry and exit relatively easy. Nature of the product differentiated. Number of the firms many. Each firm is independent. Can be seen small and medium size of firm. Price marginal cost relationship is price greater than marginal cost. Further to discuss about the realistic example based on this market structure, presentation will be handed over to our team leader, Ms. Nishadi Disanayakar. Nishadi, over to you.
My thanks to Ms. Rasika. As our previous colleague discussed, there are 4 main market structures. In order to drag your attention to our presentation, we thought of bringing this discussion with a very famous organization from our local context. Accordingly, let's discuss about the market structure of Odell Private Limited. When it comes to the Odell Market Limited, the company is starting as a single retail garment trade and now most famous public retail company in Sri Lanka. Ottara Gunawardena, a famous businesswoman in Sri Lanka, is the founder of Odell Private Limited. Next, when it comes to the market structure of Odell, the numerous characteristics shown it as a monopolistic competition market structure. The product differentiation of the Odell, entry and exit of the market in the Odell prove it monopolistic competition market structure. Our next team member, Mr. Chamara, will discuss with you about more about the Odell and demand curve of the monopolistic competition. Chamara, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Nisadi. Ottara Gunawardena started Odell and as the entrepreneur. She has made the point of the making decision, right decision to time manner. This the company need to have good the understand of that fashion market, has the fashion based on the company. Because fashion change to day and there are no barriers to enter and live into the fashion market. Odell manufacture ready-made market garment. There are own unique styles. So it is up to them decision to price. Is the market to those styles does not care about the price of the products, and there are no other products that can be competitive. Therefore, we can identify the Odell price demand compensates curve as the downwards curve. Accordingly, Odell is the monopolistic competitive market company. Therefore, the demand curve can be described as the downwards curve. There are several very important implications in the implication in such company. Demand curve. At the same time, market power plays major roles. Such frame as the ability to rise the market price and goods several more profitable than the marginal cost. And the demand behavior and elasticity. It is the sensitive, the price change as the ready-made garments are not major requirement and other companies and process ready-made garment. According to my colleagues, Ms. Gayatri will be discuss about the Odell market. Over to you, Gayatri.
Thank you, Chamaran. Now I'm going to explain about short-term equilibrium market in monopolistic competitive market. So we know that Odell is operating under monopolistic competitive industry. So in here, Odell can obtain an equilibrium point of, you can see that where marginal cost curve tangent to marginal revenue curve, that we called as equilibrium point. So Odell can produce the goods of, it means that OQ products at OP price. So you can see that Odell can earn OPAQ revenue. It means that they can earn supernormal profit in short term. It means that they can make differentiation in their products, materials. Not only that, they can do many differentiations in their advertisements. Then they can earn supernormal profit only in short run. Because in short run, there are no many firms are going to operating in the industry. So Odell can earn this supernormal profit without any hesitation. And also they can do price, and also they can consider as a price maker, and then they can increase the price without any hesitation. And also they can reduce the price and gain more customers. So this is the entire picture of this monopolistic market short-term equilibrium. So it is very much important to identify that at the short-term equilibrium, profit maximization can be seen as where marginal cost curve is equal to marginal revenue curve. So the output and price, you can see that output as Q and the price is given as P. So at the given price that AR and above ATC at Q, the Odell can get supernormal profit possible. So you can see that area of PABC considered as supernormal profit area. So as new markets enter into the market, demand for the existing firms' products becomes more elastic and the demand curve shift to the left. It means that demand curve is downward sloping than the flat one. So while doing this gradually, the Odell will be reducing their profit to the normal profit and gradually they will become to the loss. So in order to explain this in order to explain this scenario, now we can move on to the long-term equilibrium. So in order to explain this, I'm going to hand over my presentation to Ms. Charuni. She will explain how the Odell will face long-term equilibrium in the monopolistic market. So Charuni, it is over to you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Gayatri explained short-run monopolistic competition in Odell company. Now moving to the long-run monopolistic competition. In here, supernormal profit attract in the new entry, which shift to the demand curve for the existing firm to the left side. It means monopolistic competition still produces at the level where marginal cost and marginal revenues are equal. However, demand curve will shift to the left side due to the competitive fashion industry companies entering the market. And also, Odell company can reduce the economic profit in the magnitude of the entry in the new player. Okay, now moving to the inefficiency. In here, the firm is allocative and productivity inefficient in both long and short run. Firstly, company tendency for excess capacity because company never fully exploit their fixed factors to the market because mass production is difficult. This is outweighed by the advantages of diversity and choices in Odell. It is the first source of the inefficiency. Not only that, Odell company could produce the lower cost by increasing output in the level and average cost in the minimized. Okay, Madhushani will explain advantages and disadvantages of monopolistic competition. Madhushani, over to you.
Thank you, Charani. Then move forward our presentation. What are the pros and cons of the Odells when used in the monopolistic competition market structure? First one is the differentiation of the market. Non-price competition is the best practice for the differentiation for the monopolistic market. So in here, we can see Odell can use some of the differentiate strategies for uniqueness to gain uniqueness of the market. Normally, as the uniqueness market, we can see they are using some of the brand name and the product for gaining this advantage. In here, we can see Odell as the brand name of the fashionable clothing retailer sector. Then we can see second advantage as the market position. We know monopolistic competition market position between the both perfect competition as well as the monopolistic market. So in here, we can see, we can gain idea the both of market have the different advantage and the disadvantage. In here, Odell can gain neutral point of both these perfect competition and the monopolistic market practices. Then we can see the third advantage as the market may be dynamically and efficiently. So when we decide to stay in particular market, definitely we have to innovatively, strategically change needed for enhancing our production level. So organization using some of the differentiate strategies and differentiate innovative strategies to gain this advantage. Then we can see what are the disadvantages happening when using monopolistic market structure for Odell. Next. Yes, first one is there are no significant barriers to entry. What happened after this situation? If organization gain more and more profit, otherwise we can call it as the super profit. Definitely other organization, other firms adapt to come to our market. That lead to Odells lose their profit in the long run. then we can see in the long run time period, the organization generates some of the unnecessary waste also. Why generate unnecessary waste? As I mentioned earlier, if organization need to differentiate, need to uniqueness than other competitors, we have to do in some of the innovative strategically practice for their market structure. So in here, organization need to consumption some of the additional resources, additional monies to gain that situation. So that's lead to unnecessary waste. Last one is in the long run, firm is less efficiency. Why become inefficiency in the long run for the monopolistic competition market? As I mentioned earlier, in the long run, monopolistic competition market gain the normal profit. But in here, we can see they are producing the point of highest profit level. That time, organization have the excess capacity. And that's lead to some of the unemployment of the industry. And some of the that will reduce the total production of the industry, as well as especially that lead to reduce social welfare of the particular industry. So as this result, this monopolistic market structure practices become some of the inefficient of the market. So I'll invite Ms. Amanda to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Madhushani. So here with it's the high time for us to end our presentation. Before that, if I'm to provide you with a small conclusion about what we discussed about the economic market structures, and we explained to you the 4 main market structures. And along with that, we gave you a real life example, which is the Odell. And we discussed about its demand curve and how they have got adapted to this monopolistic market structure. And then along with that, we discussed about the disadvantages as well as the advantages and the profits that they have gained, as well as the inefficiencies that they have met because of their particular market structure. So with that, I would like to conclude our presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.